Okay, so first we're gonna go ahead and start by what I normally do first is I do my foundation first. So just put a little bit on the top of my hand, and then I'll use a blending sponge to go and just put on little dabs first. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and mix that, or blend that in, rather. You don't really need a whole lot generally, but if you do have if you've got worse skin irritations or acne or anything like that, you might put on a little more. Okay, and since right now my mustache is starting to come back a little bit, this is it completely shaved at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and use some color corrector. Orange is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but orange is usually the best because it's the opposite of blue. So just put a little bit on there. And then once that's, probably put a little too much there, but whatever. And then you will go ahead and just blend that in. And it doesn't always work fantastic, but it's better than nothing, so. And then I'll just go ahead and put a little more foundation on top of that to help cover up the orange. It's definitely one of the harder things to try and cover is the blue hue of facial hair. That is definitely very difficult. All right, next up I put on usually my highlight / concealer. So if there's any spots you want to cover, go for it. But mostly I use concealer as my highlights. So I put it on my upper lip. And then I will take and put some on my chin. Because you want to go with the areas you want to obviously highlight. So those two, you put some under your eyes to help brighten up your eyes. And it will also help conceal the bags under your eyes. And then you just put some on your forehead down here towards your brow line. And then you'll want to put just a little streak down your nose. Okay. Now that you've kind of dabbed that on, you will take and go ahead and use another blending sponge and just dab that to blend it. You don't need to smear it or anything like that. Dabbing it usually works just fine. Okay. For right here, I just rub down because it's just easier, but okay. It's a little harder to see in person, but I mean, the blue hue is definitely harder to see in person right now than it is on camera. This camera picks up the blue really bad, so, but in person it is a little bit better. I'll actually go ahead and just put a little bit of foundation down here to try and cover some of my neck blemishes as well. Okay, next up, I'm going to go ahead and do my blush. You don't have to do blush if you don't want to, but I personally prefer using blush. And here, actually, let me go. There we go. Because I had a little bit of black smear there from my mascara from last night, which I didn't take off because I'm a lazy bum. Okay, so you're going to take your blush. You don't need a whole lot of it. Just dab a little bit on there, and you will take and put it across your cheekbone here. So just give it some, just do light circles with it. And then do the same thing on the other side. If you prefer the look, you can obviously go a little more over the top than I do with blush, but that's all subject to what you like. So once I've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and just take and blend that a little bit at the top there, so it's not such distinct differences. Okay, and the bottom doesn't matter right now because I'm about to contour that area, so it's going to be blended later. So I'm going to go and take my contour set here, and I just always use the darkest color, but obviously use whatever color you prefer. I'm going to go and put the chapstick real quick. So I prefer one of these like tapered brushes for putting in my for doing my cheekbones. So you just take and you can feel your cheekbone right there where we kind of did our blush at. So kind of like where your the area that sits between your teeth. That's kind of the area I do. Like if you look, you can see the natural cheekbones. A lot of people say to suck in and then contour that area. That's the area that they recommend, but I just go with kind of the natural divots I have there already. So I'm just going to go and take and do that. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be blending it. And then I'm going to go ahead and take and come down from the top of my hairline over by my ear. And then come down and in a little bit. This is going to narrow in my cheekbones so I don't look like I have nearly as masculine of a jaw. Ignore the ambulances. Or fire trucks, whatever. Okay. So got that there. I'm going to go ahead and also take and I do these areas up here and then do a slight bit up here at the top of my hairline. So I just dab a little bit, pull out, dab a little bit, pull out. And this part, a lot of people don't do, but I like to do it because I just think it looks good. But, and then take and do a little bit up here at the top of the hairline. Okay, and then the last area I'm personally going to contour, but a lot of people will also contour their necks. I've never really done neck contouring, so I can't really speak on that. But here, let's see. So I'm going to go and just take that, and where's that other one? No, that's not it. There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose now. So I prefer my nose looking a little more small because I hate my nose. So you're just going to go and take and do a little line here. And I'm going to do it on the other side. Just kind of follow like where you see the shadows starting on your nose. Go and just do that to make it a little more distinct there. Just kind of narrows your nose a little bit, makes it look a little more femme. And then a lot of people also just pull a little bit across the top here to kind of narrow that area in a little bit, and do a little contouring here as well. Okay, and then narrow those in a little bit. And last little area, just do a little bit under here. Okay, let's see. Let's get that area a little more perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna do blending. I look like a total clown right now, but that's okay. First, I'm gonna go and start by blending this area, and I'll probably go back and do a little more contouring right there, but this is a good starting point. And we are going to go and just blend that. And don't just go crazy with which direction you're blending. Blend in the direction you're trying to go with. Except for at your hairline up here, you're going to want to go and blend towards your hairline. Because you don't want it as obvious that that's makeup and not natural. So you're going to want that blending into the top area of your hair a little bit, as much as you can. There's only so much you can do, but yeah. I'm going to just blend that out. Okay. And then we're going to go for this area, we're just going to blend up and towards the edge. Okay, blend that. And then we'll come to my nose here in just a second. First, I want to do a little more contouring there because I want it a little darker. Okay. So I personally, if you prefer liquid or like cream or whatever, obviously you can use cream. I personally prefer the powdered makeups other than for like my highlights, because it leaves your face feeling a lot less cakey, and it smears a lot less easily. Okay, and then we're just gonna go and blend this with a smaller brush. Just gonna go blend down and just follow where I'm put my contour at. Blend this area under here. And then for this top area, I'm going to go ahead and just do a tiny bit more concealer to re-up my contour in this area because I want it kind of blending together. And then put a little bit on the tip of my nose there. Okay, so just gonna go and dab that. And that will let you kind of blend that in together. Because the contour will have pulled everything in a little bit. So, like, and covered some of your highlight. And then you'll just go and just do a slight bit of that. That just ends up blending that. And just do that till you feel content with how it looks. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So I'm fairly happy with that. And then just gonna go and dab down there. Dab the tip of my nose. And it's kind of hard to see on this camera, like on video camera, but I'll send a picture once I'm done. So you can see I don't look like a total clown like I do in video, but we're gonna go and put those away because we are done with contouring now. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put on, because I'm going to do eyeshadow, I'm going to go and put on my primer for my shadow. So if you want, I can send you what I use. Just NYX stuff. It's just called eyeshadow primer. I got on Amazon for like, I think like $12. And this stuff has lasted me for like, I barely scratched the surface, and this stuff is like, I've had this for like 6 months. And so I'm just gonna go and smudge some of that on there. It doesn't matter if it's a little messy. I mean, as long as you aren't like leaving your eye socket area, you're good. Because it's gonna be covered up with eyeshadow, so. Okay, now I'm gonna go and pull out my palette. Okay, so today I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm thinking about doing blue because, yeah, I don't know. I'll just go with a natural. I'll just go with a natural spread. So, let's see. So personally, everyone does it a little bit different, but my personal preference for it is, because there's no real wrong way to do eyeshadow. First, I'm going to go and just rub out my shadow from my brushes because they still got eyeshadow on them, obviously. So I'm just gonna go and rub those out on the palm of my hand real quick. Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna go and start with is I'm gonna start with my lightest color. I'll usually do my like shimmery color, so I'm gonna start with that one right there. So I'm just gonna take some of that on like a flatter brush and just go across the entire area with it. And go across this whole area as well. And see, now you can't really see any of the white of the primer anymore because it's all been covered up by eyeshadow. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do my medium color, this one right here. So I'm gonna go and just use the same brush because it doesn't matter too much. So I'm gonna go and start around a little closer than halfway across and just go and pull back with that. And then just go across the top of my eyes. This is personally what works for me. I have hooded eyes. I don't know if you do or not, but this is what personally works for me for it. So then I'm just gonna go drag across from there as well. and then a little bit at the top. So I personally use like 4 different shades when doing my shadow. Next, I'm going to go with the next darker color. So for this one, I'm going to go and actually grab a different brush. I'm going to grab a smaller brush. I'm just going to do like a little circular one. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to go and just put it a little bit here. And then go up a little bit. So like put some at the edge here, the like last third, and just go up and over a little bit. Because that will give me a little bit of contouring up there. And let me keep that at the edge. So now it is a little hard to see some of the differences in there, but we're going to be doing a little blending, but we're also trying to keep it subtle personally. But, and now I'm going to use an even smaller one to put the darkest shade in there. So I'm going to go ahead and actually use one from my James Charles palette. I've got a much darker brown over there, so I'm just going to go and put that there in the very corner, then go up and just get the very top there. Some people say to blend as you go through, but I just blend at the end with a little kind of like a little light wispy brush. And I just blend towards the back of the socket. And then I'll just blend down towards the edge. Make sure I've got enough of my line. And then I'm just gonna go back and put a little bit more of that darker. Okay, so just about done with that. But I don't go too involved on my eyeshadow because I use other stuff to take away from the shitty job I normally do on it. So next up, I'm going to go and use my, take and do my eyeliner. I don't do wings, but I do eyeliner every day pretty much. So first I go with this like, well, like it's almost like a colored pencil tip one, just to, and I'll hold my lashes down and I will just keep it at the very edge. Because you don't want to go up too much. You don't want to do too much because then you're going to have to, most of the time, get rid of all your eyeshadow. Start over if you do too much, or it'll look bad, one of the two. Depending on the look you're going for, but just keep it at the very edge there. And then I'm going to go do the same thing over here. And it's fun that it's not super dark right now because this is just, I basically use this one as primer for my other one, which gives me the real color I want. Just makes it a little easier for the felt tip one. Ugh, God. Okay. And then I use a little felt tip one. This one's just from, I don't even remember. Urban Decay, I think? I don't know. But I just take and Do it very lightly from the edge to the edge. Well, not to the edge, but from the back here. And just ever so follow my lash line. And you can always go back and add more if you need more, but you can't take it away. So just take it slow with that and make sure you're getting what you really want there and not adding too much. So like, I just do something a little, I like to do subtle there. Something that adds to it, but nothing over the top. And basically, I'm just letting my eyelashes be what's guiding it. Like the bottom of my lashes. So I'm just holding those down and just going across that. Because it can't go down anymore because my lashes are there. And then I'll go up a little bit. Okay. And then okay, that works. Okay. And I'm probably gonna blend that out a little bit so it's not just so distinct there. And then what I'm gonna go and do actually is take my concealer again and just dab right there because that's gonna highlight up there. So, and then we're going to go ahead and just dab that. Okay, cool. Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and do my mascara. So there's no real way to really make doing mascara easier. It just comes with time and learning to trust yourself. So I just kind of squint my eye a little bit and then go up. It's all about also making sure you got good mascara that doesn't clump. Okay. And then we're going to go and do this side. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's good. And now time for my brows. So, me personally, I don't sculpt them at all really. I just follow the area of it. I need to get my brows done because they be looking a little jank right now. But normally my brows are done, so it's not an issue. But I just basically fill them in. I'm not shaping them or anything really. For shaping, you'll have to check out some YouTube or something like that because I've never really shaped my brows. Or at least never been successful when I've tried. So, and then just go through blend that. Okay. That's about all I do for that area. Just actually, I'm gonna go and just get that like that. that works. And now for my lipstick. I personally don't use a lot of lipstick. I mean, I've got some lipsticks and everything like that. I've got a bunch actually, but I usually go with a more natural look. So I usually just use like a lip gloss balm combo. And so I just... It'll add a little bit of color to your lip, but mostly add shimmer. Okay. And that's just about it. You can go through with the translucent powder for like sealing it all. I personally don't though, because it darkens everything a little bit, especially my highlights, and I don't like that. And everything feels good for the most part. What I'll normally do is I just go and use some of the setting spray instead. Okay, and now I'm done. And I will go ahead and send a picture.